Alright, there are actually a couple of scenarios that I can think of in which buying a cheap tripod is the way to go. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about all of the issues I've had with the Amazon Basics 60-inch lightweight tripod since I bought it in 2017. The first main problem is the build quality, and it's not surprising that at this price point, the tripod is completely made of plastic. The legs, the clamps, the feet, and all parts of the tripod head are all plastic, and this sucks. Plastic is the reality of a cheap tripod, but it is really not the best, for my use cases anyway. All of this plastic means that there's a lot of friction, and there's no fluid way to get panning shots with the tripod, which is a real downer because that's one of the things I was most excited to do with this new piece of kit when I got it a couple of years ago. The tripod head is stiff and annoying to adjust, and even when it's loose, the plastic catches on itself and there's too much friction to get any sort of smooth, moving shots on any axis. Plastic was also the cause of another problem I have. One of the clamps for the legs hangs loose and now just slides up and down whenever I adjust the leg. It's also virtually impossible to get it back in place because the plastic leg has been so mangled by the clamp over my usage period. The clamp still works if you slide it back to its almost original position, but then the bottom leg sticks out at a weird angle because it's not clamped down correctly, and this is not something you want to see when you have an expensive camera on top of the tripod. I've also had some issues with the tripod plate locking mechanism in the past, but I've managed to fix those issues when they arise with a little bit of poking around and pushing things back into place. I still am using this tripod as my A-roll tripod because I can have the broken leg not extended because I don't need the tripod that high for this framing that I've got going on here. I recently got a new tripod for around $90 from K&F Concept, and this tripod has fixed all of my issues that I've had with the Amazon Basics one. It has metal in the build, sturdy clamps, and the included ball head that's on top of the tripod has a smooth fluid head-like rotating action so you can get smooth panning shots like this. I'm still going to be using the Amazon Basics tripod until it completely breaks or falls over or puts my camera that's on top at risk. It's just going to be chilling out here, shooting A-roll, and staying in the same spot indoors. As far as I can tell, the reason mine broke is because I was jamming it in and out of the included carrying case when I was traveling with it. Bringing this tripod around is not a great idea if you want to maintain its functionality. So final thoughts then. There are actually some situations where this is a good buy. If you just need a tall tripod for a couple of different projects and you don't want to drop a lot of money because you're only going to be using it a couple of times, then this is probably the way to go. If the tripod is going to be staying indoors almost all of the time and not moving around, then I would still say this is a solid-ish option. But as soon as you start traveling or moving outdoors or make frequent adjustments to the tripod, I would spend some extra money and go get something that is going to last you long term. I will say this tripod did hold up pretty well for about 1.5 years before things started going south, but I think most people don't want to be buying a new tripod that often. For just a little bit more money, you can get something with much better build quality and better features, such as a full rotation ball head and fluid action panning. But if you just plain need a tall tripod for a couple of days or weeks, this is probably still the way to go. Just don't use the included bag. It's far too tight for the tripod and it's likely what broke mine.